Good morning everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the topic section 194M, which speaks about the TDS on payments related to contract services, professional services and certain commission services. You may get confused. What is that? Already we have section 194C for contract services, section 194J for professional and technical services, section 194H for commission services. Then what is new in that? Yes, of course, it is new. Section 194M specially implemented for the personal use of any such services or activities, you can say, and it is introduced during the financial year 2019 to 20, and it is applicable since 1st September 2019, introduced by the Financial Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji. Okay, now coming back to the topic, it is applicable to, again I told you, it's only for individual and HUF, none other than individual and HUF. When we speak about 194C, 194H, 194J, it is specifically for business. This is for individual and HUF. Then what is the difference? So here, even the transaction relates to personal activity also comes under 194M, whereas in 194C, 194J, 194H, it's purely for business activities. So this is the major differences between 194M with the respective acts. Now coming forward, so this is applicable specially to residential individual and residential HUF who makes the payment for an residential service provider. In case, for an example, I am a chartered accountant. If I want to take a services, maybe a contract services from an NRI, it is not applicable because this act clearly describes that if any services received from an NRI is not falls under section 194M. This is very much clear. Okay, so whenever it is, this act speaks about 194M for TDS cases related to contract services, professional services, technical services on certain services for commission, whether it is maybe for business or for personal use. Now you may get confused. Earlier I speak about it is only for personal activities. Now I am including one more activity is called business. Why? Why so? Once again, I am repeating with 194C, 194J and 194H. Whenever, if we want to deduct certain TDS under section 194C for contract, 194J for professional or technical services, 194H for commission, what is the important criteria when we will be verifying it during the time of audit? Yes, whenever there is an audit activity, then the chartered accountant will verify these cases, whether the particular transaction is falls under 194C or what. Yes, if it is falls under C, then we have to verify with the documents and we need to compute the actual deduction, whether if it is any shortfall, then we need to calculate the interest. Everything will be comes under audit. But if there is a particular business where the transaction is very less, we all know that under section 44AB, which speaks about the tax audit, right? Whenever, if the total turnover is crossing above 1 crore till financial year 2020, 1920, the actual threshold limit is up to 1 crore for normal business and 2 crore for presumptive taxation business, right? In case, if those business, the total turnover is crossing 1 crore or 2 crore respectively, then it will comes under tax audit cases. But here, my business total turnover is just 40 lakhs. Then I don't want to do my books to be audited under section 44AB. Then easily I can wash my hands that I don't have any liability to deduct the TDS. Okay. Now I can pay whatever I want without TDS deductions. Here the government has initiated section 194M. Now these guys also comes under the radar of income tax. Whenever if I want to pay something even for my personal use or for my business use and the business is not comes under audit radar, now I have to deduct TDS under section 194M. This is very much clear. Okay. Once again, the payment. So I told about TDS. It is applicable for individual and HUF, whether it is maybe for personal use or for business use. Business use in the sense non-audit category. Then we have to go further, the threshold limit. Everyone knows that 194C. It is applicable based on the threshold. If any service provider writes an invoice more than 30,000 rupees, then we will be deducting TDS, which is maybe 1% or 2%. If it is individual or HUF, it is 1%. If it is corporate, it will be 2%. Same way 194J, which speaks about professional services or technical services. If the invoice value is more than 30,000, then the particular deductor will be deducting 10% for professional cases, 2% for technical cases since 2020 April. Okay. Now the same way here in 194M, the threshold limit is 50 lakh rupees in the financial year. So once again I am repeating it. In any case under section 194M, if individual or HUF is paying a sum of rupees 50 lakhs or above for these 4 activities. The activities are professional services, technical services, contract services or any services for commission, okay, or brokerage, you can see. These 4 activities will be coming under the radar of 194M, and the respective deductor should deduct TDS at the rate of 5%. It's very much clear, right? Now going forward, yes, the deductor has deducted the 5% TDS on this payment. Now what he needs to do further? I have deducted TDS. Can I use it for my own purpose? No, we cannot. There are certain provisions. So it is like an usual business. Whenever you are deducting TDS, it should be remitted to the government on certain permissible time. Okay. Now the due dates are. The first one is, maybe you know that financial year starts from April 1st and ends with March 31st. I am going for maybe consuming certain contract services. I am going to take a contract services. Now the contract value is 60 lakh rupees. So now clearly I am saying this contract services is for my personal use, not for business use. Okay. And even you can say my turnover also. Even if it is for business also, the turnover should be below 50 lakhs in case of profession, 2 crore in case of presumptive taxation, 1 crore in case of non-presumptive cases. Okay. In such occasions, I will be coming under 194M category. Okay. Now I am paying 60 lakh rupees for the particular contract services, and as per 194M, I have to deduct 5% of TDS. On 60 lakhs, 5% will be 3 lakh rupees. This activity I am encountering during April month. Okay. For the month of April, the due date is 7th of the following month. It's very much clear in TDS. Any type of TDS deducted in any one month should be paid before 7th of the following month. For April, it is May 7. For May, it is June 7. For June, it is July 7. Like that. The same way, one exception is there. So that exception is for March. Only in case of March, because it is an year ending. So we are like so much serious about closing the books of accounts. Due to that closure, we cannot focus on paying TDS on time. For that purpose, government has given one relaxation, and that is for the month of March, that particular TDS can be paid before 30th of April. It's very much clear? Yes. Now going forward, yes, I have transferred the fund. Now I need to file the TDS return as well. So that TDS return should be filed through form 26QD. Okay. So whenever it is form 26Q speaks about non-salaried cases. Form 24Q speaks about salaried cases. Same way 194M is of course a non-salaried case. Now we have to file form 26QD. This one also the responsibility of the particular deductor. Whenever I am speaking about deductor, deductee, what is deductor, what is deductee, you should understand. So deductor in the sense, the person who pays a sum for receiving a service, he will be deducting certain portion of TDS. He will be called as deductor. Same way deductee in the sense, the person who gives the service to earn certain income for his day-to-day activities. So he will be called as deductee. Example, I am a chartered accountant. I am doing auditing services or maybe accounting services in certain cases. So I will be called as service provider. Same way, the person who, Mr. A, he needs to take the auditing services. He will be called as service receiver. Okay. Now the payment will be done by service receiver. So he will be called as deductor. Same way I will be called as deductor. Fine? Yes. So now we have cleared about it. Once after done with our TDS deduction, we need to file form 26QD with the payment. Okay. And then in case if the deducted amount is not paid on time, then what will be the prosecution, the consequences? So first of all, in any case of TDS, there are two things. One is non-deduction and second one is non-deposit. Non-deduction in the sense, you forgot to deduct, which means you have paid the complete amount, you didn't deduct at all. Same way the second case is non-deposits. You have deducted it but not paid on time. So the two cases will vary. In case if you have deducted but not paid on time, the funds will be there with you. For this occasion, the penalty will be little higher because you are using the fund of government. For this purpose, the government introduced 1.5% per month as interest. Okay. Same way, non-deduction, and again, of course, you are not deducted in the sense you will not pay. So in such occasions, there is no mistakes from your own end, and of course, you will not use the fund of government. So in such occasions, the interest rate is little reduced, and that is 1% per month. Okay. In case of non-deposit but deducted, the interest rate will be 1.5% per month. The same way, if it is not deducted and vice versa, not paid, in such occasions the interest rate will be 1%. Fine. Okay. Now we have deposited and we have filed our TDS returns also through the form 26QD. Now, how it will affect in real time? How the particular service provider will verify that? Of course, whenever you are making the TDS payments, after certain processing time, it will reflect on his form 26AS. In that 26AS, he can verify each and everything, whether the deductor has deducted something, whether he has paid something, and what was the actual value he has declared in the TDS returns. Each and everything can be verified through 26AS. Same way, the particular service receiver, he should provide the certificate of tax deduction, and that is form 16D. when you are filing the TDS return 26QD, the same way you have to download the form 16D that should be provided within 15 days from the date of TDS return. This one also the service receiver's responsibility. If it is not followed by himself, again he should face the consequences. Okay. Now real-time verification also done. One more question. In case if the particular service provider is not providing the PAN, how can I deduct the TDS? You may have the questions. Yes, of course, in such occasions that service receiver, which means the deductor, he can deduct to the highest percent, that is 20% of the actual service value can be deducted as TDS and it should be paid to the department. Same way, if the actual deducting called service provider, okay, he didn't comfortable with 5%, then what he can do? Yes, there is certain solutions for him as well. He can apply for lower or nil reduction with his assessing officer in the respective income tax board. If he is applying so, the assessing officer will verify his income tax returns and his refund details and his income, everything will be verified in the past. Whatever the income tax return he has filed, he will verify each and everything, and then he may propose a lower reduction rate or maybe a nil reduction rate. So that certificate should be provided further for the deductor. If it is received by the deductor, based on the certificate, he may go for the reduction. In such occasions, this 5% TDS will not apply. Okay, so lower reduction also is being possible. Then again, you may have one more confusion. That confusion is whenever for filing TDS returns, the business holders will get TAN. TAN in the sense tax collection and deduction account number. Same way PAN in the sense permanent account number, right? So this TAN number is not required to file this form 26QD. Why so? Because whenever if there is a TDS activity for a business, they may do it on regular basis like monthly or quarterly or yearly, whatever it is, they are required to deduct the TDS. But in such cases under section 194M, the individual or HUF may encounter this particular activity at any point of time, maybe lifetime once or any different portion of times, maybe 5 years once or 10 years once, like that. So in such occasion, getting a TAN will be a waste of time and waste of money. So for that purpose, the government has initiated that the return can be filed without obtaining a TAN number. So he can file the TDS returns with his own PAN number. Clear? Now, final real-time issues. So whenever it is, the government has initiated a lot of things like TDS, income tax provisions and GST, once again customs duty, like that, so many provisions are there. Of course, we know that it is good for a chartered accountant to understand, and somehow it is good to understand by an educated person, but the same way it is too difficult to understand by an illiterate, because whenever the contract value is more than 50 lakhs, that time we have to deduct 194M, it's fine, but an illiterate or an uneducated person, he cannot do so. He may have certain confusions. What is TDS? We do not have that understanding as well. So in this occasion, the government may come forward to solve the issues. How to solve the issues? Of course, the chartered accountant will be a major support for this. So whenever it is, if these type of activities are going on, the government should initiate one more point, that the particular contractor should get one undue certificate from the chartered accountant. If it is obtained, which means the chartered accountant should verify the complete activity and the payments and again the TDS certifications also. If everything is verified and done in a proper way, then the chartered accountant should provide undue certificates, like how we usually get it for chartered ingenious valuation certificate, the same way. If this was introduced, if this is introduced by the government, then the backbone of chartered accountancy will use in a proper way and this law will affect in a more better way. So this is how we have to implement the scheme and this is how it will reflect in a proper way. So if you have any queries, please clarify. We can have a beautiful session of question and answer. Thank you.